show is really, really super. Welcome to our second and final lap on today's production. We're honored to be playing host to Honorable John A.F. Kenya. That is a household name in Liberia, very popular household name. He is the president of the Federation of Motorcycles and Tricycles Union of Liberia. Mr. Kenya, welcome to ELBC this morning.
Well, thank you. It is a pleasure being
You want to
before
give me a
your-
little bit more for lucky, yeah? Yes. Let's hear you again.
Thank you. It is a pleasure being before your microphone again, and I'm home,
Okay.
so I'm not strange here.
Yeah, I know that for sure. How is the federation? And how are your members? How are motorcyclists? How are tricyclists? How is life in general?
Well, let me firstly begin by appreciating Ambassador Chisanyama Bwaka for appointing uh, Honorable Eugene Falcon as the Director General of this great institution. And so, for and on behalf of the motorcyclists and tricyclists in Liberia, we want to use this platform to congratulate you for your preferment. We hope and pray that whatever you stand for will be the best interest of our people, the best interest of our country. So, for the motorcyclists and tricyclists, we are doing well. Just that over the past times, we noticed there have been people who harassed cyclists. Some go as far as using machetes on them, taking away their bikes,
You're talking about criminals here.
criminals. And so that have been alarming situation that we put before the Liberia National Police.
Did you say alarming? Is it on the rise?
This is something that is alarming because everywhere we hear complaints from our cyclists that on a daily basis, they are taking away their bikes and harming them. And so this is something that we consider as anti productivity when it comes to
Yes, I will sound
when it comes
rhetorical
to-
here,
yeah.
but I would definitely want to ask you like a question I shouldn't be asking. How serious a problem is this? How is it affecting motorcyclists and tricyclists?
Well, it is affecting them in terms of their livelihoods. Reason is that there are some places now cyclists feel afraid to go at night. All right, like around the Bernardsville Belt, around the Congotown Back Road, around the there's an area around the Soul Clinic. So cyclists complain a lot about this area. So there's something that we condemn, and we see it as an affront to us as leadership. And so we brought it to the attention of the Inspector General, Gregory Como, and even 102 Nelson Freeman, that this situation is harming our cyclists movement. And so as such, we cannot sit and just feel relaxed. And so we want them to help us in the process of battling what is happening right now. And so this promised us that whatever that has to do with their support towards us, we should try to identify wherever those guys are, and we will go after them. So this morning we want to say to the cyclists that very soon we will be going after those criminals. And so we're going to work collectively, collaboratively with the Liberia National Police and all our security apparatus in making sure that we get those guys out of our sector completely.
So there's usually saying that Monrovia is not Liberia. What information do you have coming from across the country? Is it the same as in Monrovia, where motorcyclists, are under pressure from these criminals?
Well, Monrovia, we have over 100,000 cyclists
This is
here.
the epicenter.
And so as such, the criminal rate here is high as compared to other counties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about unity? I mean, lately, honestly, I haven't been hearing a lot about disagreements or disunity, but for some time there was this whole issue of legitimacy and all these kinds of stuff. What's the situation of like the unity among you, the motorcyclists and tricyclists?
This sector is huge. It hosts over 350,000 Liberians who cannot or do not just have the opportunity of working in government or other areas private sector and what have you. But we see this as a stepping stone, all right, to whatever destination you have. As you may be aware, we have college graduates within the sector. We have university students within the sector. And there are some who are in high schools and high school. And so during the past regime, we face serious political interference.
Okay.
That's which brought down even whatever resources that we should have collected. Can you imagine by then I just told her, as the president of the federation, having fought to unite the sector several years. Can you imagine since the introduction of this industry in our country, there was no laid down principle that we have guarded this sector. But knowing to the fact that some of us who love the sector and love our country and have gone out and gathered internal experience, we decided that we cannot have a multiplicity of unions. Who is going to represent? Who's going to speak? That people will listen, that indeed those guys, there are issues that are confronting them and they want their voices to be heard. And so we fought over the past time and from Ellen's regime up to 2017, 2018, through the help of the late Ambassador William Arotobo III, Reverend Ambassador J. Luther Tabe, who having to be the chairman of the ruling party right now, and with the help of OMIO as well, we were able to come together, all right? And we formed a federation. And we went to election December 15, 2018. But before then, the second Saturday in February 2018, as you may be aware, at the time, bags were not running everywhere, all right? Bags were restricted, yes. And so we met the Liberia National Police at the time. They said, in fact, the cyclists are lawless. There's no control because of the multiplicity of unions and leaders. And so we said, now we have a federation. We've come together. And as a president, who is now serving as a spokesperson, at the time we've not had an election. So we want our people to have certain freedom of running certain areas. And so that was given to us. And so we went to election. I emerged as a president. And so we decided that this sector be represented, both local and international, and not just to compromise the interests of our people, which is the cyclists. But it was surprising to note we took office February 16, 2019. Then just 2020, we were hit with a huge political interference, wherein we were asked to support one of the candidates in Maserati.
Okay.
All right, during the midterm election. And so as a president, what I said to the guys in government at the time was, we cannot just play support until we get the backing from our leaders from the 17 districts in Maserati. And so with that, when we speak now, our people will listen. So they said, no, you are the president, you have to speak. I said, no, I don't just talk. All right, when I'm speaking, I consult my people. It is based on a consultation. When we have a consensus, then I come out to speak. All right. And so it didn't go down well with them. All right. After the election, the candidate they wanted did not win. And so it was a serious embarrassment to them. So they decided to interfere into our activities, thereby coming up to say, in fact, John should resign from his position. And I said, I couldn't resign. And so later we had a fight, and later my own Secretary General was now being influenced by some of those politicians and giving some resources. And that's how they decided to go and establish another institution.
Okay, so
all
they
right.
established
And
another
so
group
from
to
the
rival you now.
yes, to rival, so that at the end of the day, coming up to 2024 or 23 election, we were getting some support. And knowing that I was legitimately elected, we went to court and all. Can you imagine? I received a writ on Sunday while getting ready to go to church. John, you are asked to go to court. In fact, the position you hold right now, you shouldn't be there. And so as such, you are impersonating all of that.
Your legitimacy was being questioned now.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we went to the court. Luckily, we tested the law and We came out victorious. Although I had to drop from school,
Mhm.
all of my activities were seized.
You had to drop from school.
Yes,
Okay.
all of my activity was seized, and everything, the operation of the federation, we had to put stop to everything just so that we can go through the due process. And so we went to court. By the grace of God, Augustine Fire, who was just recently
named as
Solicitor General,
Solicitor General.
was my lawyer, and so we came out victorious. And we just want to appreciate the legal system, all right? Because we saw the political interference.
Mhm.
What happened at the time?
Mhm.
Can you imagine before, when I appeared at the court, Montreal City Court, it was surprising to note the judge were like, "Where's John Kenyon? Where's John Kenyon?" He didn't know I was seated right beside him.
Mhm.
And so my lawyer said, "But what's going on?" So I want to see John Kenyon. I said, "Here I am, sir." I said, "Go and sit on the prisoner bench with no investigation." And my lawyer said, "But he's not been investigated or found guilty of the act." He said, "I'm the judge here. Let him sit on the prisoner bench." And so they delayed the case, the hearing up to 3:30. And so he sent the court to recess. Meaning, I have to file for bond. Other than that, I go to jail.
Incarcerated.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so my lawyer stood into it, and by the grace of God, we paid a bond fee and did everything. And then that's how I was released that day. And so we went into it until finally I was given a due process, and that's how I came out victorious. And we went to the election. And so we now decided as an institution and as a leader, looking at what was happening, we took SAR, all right?
Mhm.
And we supported the candidacy of Ambassador Joseph Yimapwaka
Okay.
coming, as president. And so we went from point to point. When we first pledged our support to His Excellency, people said, "What, power do you have? What strength?" And I said, I was interviewed by them by Spoon.
Mhm.
I even came on this platform,
Mhm.
and we said it will be shown during the Ottawa 10 election. And people saw it. All right. We came out, people saw the support from the cyclists to this regime coming to be. It was to set example that people should know that no matter the disagreement we have,
Mhm.
all right, it should not go to the extent of intimidating people and infringing on their rights only because you feel that you have the power.
So you
And
went
so-
to court, you came out of court, you went to elections, the issue of legitimacy have been resolved. But normally when you have these kinds of situations, there can be disagreements. What is the situation now with the unity of the federation?
So
Have you
now-
been able to reconcile the membership of the various unions, and it's the of the various unions, and is the federation now working as a team?
Yeah, so what we did is that immediately after the elections, I decided to call all of my leaders, including the guys that stood against me. And we went to a meeting. I said, "Gentlemen, you guys elected me. Regardless of the kind of struggle we went through, I, as a leader, cannot hold that against you. It is not your fault. All right? I know what it takes when the president of a country wants certainty to happen, and you are just an institution, little institution, decide to stand against that. I know how difficult it can be." So I told them, I said, "I cannot hold that against you. But the interest of our cyclists is paramount. And so as such, I want us to come back together." And so as we speak right now, we have 95% of the guys that signed
Okay.
up to the coming together
Okay.
of the entire
So they
sector.
recommitted themselves. to
Yeah, so they
coming together.
recommitted themselves.
Okay.
So after we did that MOU, right now as we speak, this Saturday, the final MOU as to the structure, because we do, right now what we're doing is that we're doing give and take, all right?
Okay.
We try to incorporate everybody back into the leadership. And so the vice president for operation, we going to them, secretary general will be going to them, and there are other positions that will also be going. So we did
it's
that
like you're
just so that-
sharing positions.
yes,
to make sure that the
until
union
we
can come
go
back
to because I was elected 5 years,
Okay.
and so we reduced the 5 years to 3 years, just so that we can have that unity.
Is that captured in your constitution?
Yes, it is in the constitution, but we did that just so that we can have unity. And so now as we speak, everyone is happy. If you even open a room, your line now for that, everywhere across the country, the leadership, everyone is happy about the decision. Just that there are some who still feel that I'm a citizen, so I cannot submit. But it's just like 1 or 2% of the guys. But I'm still talking to them.
Some guys being political
yes.
in the process.
In fact, one of the guys on the radio the other day when we received a call from the police that indeed they want us to discuss how we can collaborate. He did not know what the call was for. He went straight on the radio. In fact, the people trying to restrict cyclists across the country, being political. Now knowing we are planning as to how we can have a reconciliatory football match with the Liberia National Police.
Yeah, but Mr. Kenyon, people have the right to have their political interests, even though they are members.
I do agree. But you cannot, we are not in the election anymore.
Right.
So wanting to politicize the sector is where I told them that it was wrong.
So you have a right aligned with whatever political interest you have, but do not politicize our organization.
Definitely. Okay. So we are not in election. And so the interest of our cyclists is paramount. As we speak, we are talking to officials of government, even the president, that our people, our cyclists who are competent and qualified should be given opportunity to serve. And so when we are pushing the interest of our people, all of us should put hands together. And I want to appreciate everyone, all right, for committing themselves. I know we will not always agree on issues, and that is democracy, right? But the fact remains, the interest, the sole interest of the sector is above you and I, all right? Today, I can live as president, all right? Another person will come. If I can give in and say, gentlemen, let us reconcile the sector, it means that we want everyone to get the cake. The first thing people should come out, in the past, people said, John, if we win, we will make sure you will not stay here. We will get rid of you. But when we won, we said, no, let's reconcile. The fact I was elected, I was not elected to serve my people at home, but I was elected to serve the over 350,000 cyclists across the length and breadth of this country. So it's not about what happened to me as an individual, but the interest of the cyclists. That's why when one thing happened to cyclists, it pains me a lot because I operated commercial motorcycle for 8 good years. All right. So I know what it takes for a rider to race 500 or 1,000 a day.
Yeah, but a lot of your service users complain about a lot of your members, about their relationship, their interaction. Sometimes they say your guys have too much hostility. Do you get some of these complaints?
We've had several trainings, and the way it used to be before, it is not like that any longer. All right. I want to appreciate the UC through CRS. They've committed themselves all the time. Although when we took SAR, they decided to withdraw their support, and I wish we want to say to them, and we wrote them, we resigned from the USAID project at the time, but they did extremely well.
Okay,
by
so
conducting training.
Political, they had issues with it, so you resigned from the
I had to resign before even becoming political. Okay. Because I told them that I needed to have taken SAR because of the political interference.
Are you still political?
Right now, no, we are now governing our people.
Are you re-engaging with those partners that look?
We are.
Yeah, we did. We went out there. We were political. We were clear to you. Now we are apolitical. We're no longer political. Are you doing that?
We are. Okay. And so at the end of the signing of the final MOU this weekend, all right, by next week, we will have a major press conference, and we will now be calling on the general public and calling on every peace-loving Liberian. Guess what? If this sector is not peaceful, we have over 350,000 riders. And each of the riders, if you look at the ratio of just 3 or dependent on a person, you will notice that we have more than half of the entire population that depend on this sector just for livelihood. And it was surprising to know, just you as a journalist, you depend on motorcycle to come to work. And even the doctors, it was surprising to know one evening I was home, the lady was in labor, no car. And I received a call. Mr. Kenyon, how can you help? And the first thing I called one of the riders, I said, I want you to help. Whatever you can do. If police ask you, take my number, call them, and just call me and tell them that you are helping. So what happens if we whether to make the riders available at that
So,
night.
I was just, do you imagine a country, Liberia, where we are now? All motorcycles, all tricycles will be completely out of Liberia. Can you imagine that?
The economy
And if you
will
imagine that, what will
crumble.
happen?
The economy will completely crumble. Guess what?
Why do you say that?
We have the importers that pay huge taxes to government. All right. We have the cyclists that also pay taxes to government. As you may be aware, we do register our bikes. And very soon, the last time we had a conversation with the Minister of Transport, Honorable Salif Tara, I also want to say congratulations to him.
Mhm.
And we open our arms to working with him. And so he has committed himself to also making sure that we work collaboratively to making sure that the issue of plate. One thing we are recommending is that we want every motorcycle before even coming on the street. All right, before starting operation, you should get your plate
Okay.
register. Or you should have your bag register. You buy a bag today, it should be registered before you put it out. These are systems we're trying to put into place. We want government to generate more funds,
Mhm.
and in return, it will help you and myself. Our children will go to school. There will be development, and we suggested all of those in the past. We started it, but however be it, thank God we now have a new administration.
What's your relationship with the law enforcement agencies? I'm talking about the Motorcyclists and Tricycle Federation.
We have a very cordial working relationship, as you may be aware. We've been having several meetings. Tomorrow, Friday, we will be meeting again with the Liberia National Police. There's a regulation that we will be coming over very soon. And people normally complain that our riders dress recklessly.
Mhm.
Some of them, they buy the motorcycle, they remove the view mirror.
Right.
And so I saw sometime when they are getting on the road, either left or right, sometimes they do not observe. And so when they get in, sometimes you find out that the driver jam them off the road.
Sometimes
They
they're
will fall.
aggressive, they're quick to fight.
Yeah.
And
We
sometimes
will come to that.
sometimes they use some words.
Oh, yes. And so with that, we want to say that this morning, I want to use this platform to say to the cyclists, if you buy a bike, please make sure your V mirror is on it. And those of you who normally ride with slippers, please try to get either your rain boot, make sure to get your sandals, your sitting or your shoe, because this is your office. And so we will be working with the Liberia National Police to making sure that there is system, all right, within our sector. And so we have been discussing, all right, to making sure that our cyclists follow the road and public safety measures.
And I was coming to that because one of the criticism is that you guys are excessive in terms of running the motorcycles. You guys usually would not respect the traffic rules. You will overtake anywhere. You will stop anywhere. So the question is, are you spending some time maybe working with the police and the rest of it, providing more and more training and making sure that not only training, but of course your motorcyclists, there's a system of monitoring them. So even you're not arresting them, but to begin to say to them, listen, they got something called speed limit. They got rules that say this is how you overtake. Sometimes you don't see a heavyweight truck coming and you say, oh, I'm challenging to cross in front of it. I mean, that personal safety and the rest of it. Do you take some time to talk to them about all these different kinds of
We do, and we are in the business of doing that. But firstly, let me say that we cannot generalize it to say everyone is reckless.
No, definitely wouldn't be everyone.
All right. And so that just like 5% of the guys, because this sector is one of the easy access to employment right now in this country. You can get a motorbike.
How?
You can get a motorbike today if you are just jobless sitting home. You're out of college. You don't have job for now. You don't have any means of getting employment. You can get a motorcycle, get on one of the fields, learn how to ride 1 week, and you can get on the field and start making money.
You're
So
talking
this-
about a means of job employment. Have you seen or have you had any experience of any motorcyclist who has become successful because you're calling it a job? Maybe successful being able to build a house, manage a family, and those kinds
Thousands
of
of them.
Really?
If you see some of our riders' homes, you'll be surprised.
So not
Like I
every
told
rider
you-
is just reckless.
No, not what you think. Because hasty generalization is something that in Liberia people just look at and we just brain everyone to be negative, and it is wrong. There are thousands of our
Let's look at the
cyclists.
kind of people who are
Look
on
at me.
motorcycle
Look at
riding.
me.
Yeah.
Okay, Reverend J.
But
Luther, who is Reverend J. Luther, who is the chairman of the Unity Party?
You are the big man, sir. I look at you, I see you. You like you. If I were calling you honorable because you are honorable, but if you go,
I control 250,000 people in this country.
Thank you. So when you speak now, then many voices speaking. But when you go out there and you look at these motorcyclists, you want to convince me that these people are capable of managing homes. They are examples of sending children to school. They are examples of building homes. You want to convince me about
so
that?
Can you also, as a journalist, do this for me?
Yes, sir.
This is a national station and national platform. Can you take a day or week, go from parking to parking, interview cyclists? What have been your achievement since you started riding motorcycle? You get to understand many of the guys now who own taxi around here.
What would they tell me?
They will tell you that some of them, it is because of the bike that today they are living. Myself that is here, it is bike that made me to be the way I am. And I still have a bike.
You still run motorbike?
If you want me to get out there now, you just give me a motorbike. Although right now, I was rescued. I'm a motorbike guy, provided a vehicle for me.
You identified the rescue mission.
Oh yes, I was rescued. So with that, I still ride motorbike. I have my bike. Okay. All right. So if I just go right in the parking now, you will not know the difference between us. We speak the same language. I understand that they understand me. But the only problem is that we want government to help us. There are a lot of programs we want to implement.
We'll come to the government side. But let me follow the trend. There's this whole thing about when you in the street, you almost see like it's a fight. You find some guys, they are dressed in the form of what maybe you call a uniform or what. You find a motorcycle and tricycle, and then there's this fighting. I'm going to take the key from you, and don't take my key. And sometimes it gets so scary. You want to start running. What's going on? So, have you heard these complaints, or do you know about this kind of happening among your guys?
I receive call on a daily basis, and so we try to work modalities to reducing the tension in the street. And so, hopefully next week or we after next, the Liberia National Police will be training about 100 of our security.
So you have your own security?
Oh yes. 100 of our
and I want to assume that the guys who are trying to
regulate,
they are actually your security.
Yeah, they regulate the movement of the cyclists.
They are legal. They are recognized.
Oh yes, okay. Yes, definitely. And so we pay taxes to government.
Okay.
Yeah, we pay taxes to government.
Have you spoken to the operators to avoid fighting in the street? Because if these are your securities, then the riders or operators should be willing to work with them. But at the same time, they too should not perhaps extort from the riders, because sometimes that's where the problem will come. If I feel you want to extort from me, I will put up resistance and you want to take the key. And sometimes it's like it's a fight. I mean, you want to take my key by force and I'm also dead. You know, you the young people, you got so much energy. And then, the guys are fighting. You have people running.
And so in that, if you think that someone wants to extort money from you, what I think you can do, you have to be respectful of the law. But first, trying to obey. All right? The fact that this man is not just there for himself, we have offices across the country. Everywhere.
But if the guy does that, will he get redress?
Definitely.
Get a redress?
Definitely. Okay. We suspend a lot of securities. You get in the street and they will tell you John Kenyon doesn't play. Like I told you, I operated a commercial motorcycle for 8 years.
How about
I just told you earlier that to raise 1,000 a day. How difficult it is.
Yeah.
So it means that I passed through the rank and file.
Yeah.
In fact, I was a chairman for Duboro Junction.
Okay. So how about the impersonators? Because sometimes the fight is, this man is not even an officer. He wants to take my key, and I'm not going to arrest him.
That's what we always.
Have you also heard that too?
Identify yourself.
Okay.
Ask the man to identify himself. If he does, then you get down. Can you imagine when I was coming from town one afternoon, one of my securities stopped me. I hired man, my VP was behind me and around the zone 3, and we went off the road. So he asked me to get down, and I got down. And then what actually, make me now to take out the helmet to talk was he's decided to push it back to the police station. So I asked him, I said, why? Can you tell me why you are arresting me? So it's like, he didn't know I was the president. So later, my vice president wanted to talk. I said, no, let's obey him. Let's respect him. We place him there. And so when he wanted to take the bag now without telling me what I was arrested, And that's how I decided, why are you arresting me? And why are you taking it back to the police station, not taking it to our office? And he said, but who are you? Take all the helmet. I said, no, I don't have to. So this is how you people just treat every rider. Before turning the man over to the police, I think you should first of all tell him why you arresting him. And if the guy is respectful and he respecting you, why can't you discuss with him? Maybe you can give him the first, you can use that time and advise him as a first offense. He advise him, don't do this next time. To the next time I arrest you, I will change water to the LMP, I will take you to the office. But you just arrest a man, no investigation, nothing. You want to take him. So when I took out the helmet, oh, that's the president. I say, you see there? So this is how you people treat the cyclists at times. It is wrong. And so we normally, sometimes I go to some parking, I just disguise myself, and I will monitor how things work.
So let's come back. Let's come back to the rescue. The cyclists, the union, the federation. You were talking about. You are asking the government for some support, some assistance. Tell us about what those programs you're looking at are.
Yeah, we want training for our cyclists. While it's true, we are advocating. There are some thousands of them, although people consider they just generalize the entire sector of people who are just good for nothing people, and that which is not true. But the few that are coming in on a daily basis, we want training for them. And there's a continual process. If we train people today, you do not expect 100% result immediately. You have to continue talking and teaching the people.
Are you talking about training by the national
training on road and public safety?
Conducted by the
yes, and other stakeholders, the partners, on the respect for rule of law. All right, the legal people, to tell them what it takes to respect the law. That when you are arrested, don't fight. Submit to the arrest, or whatever you can better explain yourself. Or when you are taking your passenger from one point to another, if a man slap you, don't just retaliate. Let the people tell them what it takes. Even sometimes we invite even the religious people to come and talk to them.
But customer service, for example.
Customer service.
You sit on a bike and you say, look, you are running, and the guy is like, hey, so you know how long I've been riding this bike, and then this whole argument will ensue. You as an operator should know customer service as well.
Definitely. And so if we will invite some business tycoons to the training, they teach them some small business skills. All right. Although some of them, they're the ones we consider our helpers. Some of them, they generate money, but they do not know how to manage it. Yeah, some of our guys actually to admit management is the issue, serious issue. So if we try to train them in that aspect, I'll tell you for free, this sector is a very, very good sector. It is helping the country. If the cyclists will decide to park today, you know where we will be. All right. And so we are saying there should be training on road safety, and then road and public safety. There should be training in business management. There should be training on the respect for rule of law, conflict mitigation. After that, or before that, there are some of our people. We continue to repeat this since John Kenyon started this advocacy. We want Ambassador Joseph Numa Boakai's administration to set an example.
What is that?
The example is that of all of the employment or appointment that have been made, not a single cyclist. Although we were promised, but there are some people who want to make the public respect, or like I told you, I'll rescue. He listens or not.
The way I heard that what is being considered is competence,
qualification. I talk about competence and qualification.
All those kinds
Everything
of
is there. So do you think,
Federation?
Like I just told you earlier, pick up your microphone, get in the street and interview our cyclists. I said to one of the ministers yesterday.
Are some of them college products?
Yes. Let me tell you, if we just make some of our guys who are qualified, competent in terms of integrity, they are up to standard. There are some of our people who serve in power region or other regions who just go on radio and calls and just say all kind of thing. Our people are very disciplined. You saw how we govern ourselves during the election. How mature we are. Some of our people, when you give them the opportunity, they will serve even better There's some people who
Yeah,
have the
but
opportunity.
the
So, am
Constitution gives the
my
president the right.
responsibility as a president?
Right.
People do not know, but it's my responsibility to sell the sector, to sell the people to you, and for you to consider that product, to give it a try. Until you, as the leader of this institution, will tell the public how competent and qualified people or journalists are at ELBC. Some will still preempt that there are some people here who are not.
So, Mr.
But
Kenya,
until the leadership will continue to push, like recently I listened to the hearing from the Director General. He was talking about budgetary allotment.
Oh, you're talking
for
about Honorable
increment.
Fagon, our Director General.
Yes, Honorable Fagon. He tried to push for budgetary allotment and increment in the budget for LBS. And so we are saying to you, if and only if he sits and feel complacent that he will not advocate for you, how will the people out there know that there is a constraint that you people face?
It looks to me
So
like
I am saying to you,
they're looking for jobs for your people.
Definitely there should be opportunity given to our people. All right. And I know, and I always say to them, gentlemen, regardless of all, let us be patient. Let us exercise restraint. Let us continue to be peaceful. Let us continue to be law-abiding. Let us continue to observe, all right, the trend of this regime and work collaboratively to making sure that the time that God will lay on the president to say yes, is the time.
Because
but what we are pushing
the
some.
Constitution gives the president the right to appoint people to work in the government.
And
so let me ask you this.
According to Article 8,
are some of those? I know.
According to Article 8 of the Constitution of Liberia, it says, and I quote, and the government shall direct its policies towards making sure job opportunities for its citizens without discrimination.
Including motorcyclists.
Motorcyclists are not citizens. So motorcyclists are not Liberian.
They are Liberian. They want to make sure that
one of the deputy ministers said to me, and I frowned at that statement from her. Sackley will not get appointment position.
You mean
and I said she said that. She said that. And I told her, if that happens, in fact, I'm highly disappointed in you. The president loves this sector so much. And you know the efforts we've applied. So you are sitting in the seat now. We brought our people's name. And we were giving assurance. So you now will take our people and place it under your desk. It is unacceptable. And you know, not because I support this regime. If anybody want to bring this regime to public ridicule, we will single you out. We will not just go and just let the way people generalize us. I'm coming. The way people generalize us.
You will be civil in doing it.
Very civil. That I'm doing now.
Okay.
Listen, my leadership is a very respectful leadership and mature. We are very, very, very polite in engaging issues. Not the way people consider motorcyclists to be troublemakers, so that everybody is troublemaker. Not every motorcyclist is a troublemaker. But in fact, there are some people who intrude into our sector, claiming to be commercial cyclists, and they are not. So that's the reason why we want system to be put into place.
So if you're asked to recommend,
we are even praying and working modalities that we want to have a one body or regulatory body that we are recommending to the legislature very soon. And we are passing through all the lawmakers that we can have that body to be able to push a lot of policies on behalf of this sector. We want to see motorcycle uniform.
Since after elections, have you met with the president of the republic?
Definitely. Definitely.
We
met and we want to meet again.
Your vision. All these things you are explaining, have you explained all of these things?
Even before the election, we went on several tours from county to county. And every time we sit and have the opportunity to interact with him,
he listens to you?
In fact, yes, even today, I strongly believe that if the president just hear that Joy is here, I want to see you, he will open the room. And he loves to listen to the cyclists. But like I said, there are some people who want to create a barricade oh yeah, the president, this, the president, and we will not tolerate that.
Have you told him exactly what you want?
We have
in black and white.
black and white.
Give us this, and this.
We do.
We're appealing to you.
We have
Because
a
he's the person
vision.
who has
We
a
have
right.
a vision plan that we presented to our board chairman.
Okay.
Who happen
happens
to
be
be
the chairman of Unity Party?
Very good.
Okay.
And so our chairman, who happen to be the chair of the board, had that vision. He said to us that he's taking it to the president. And I also said to him that we will want to meet the president face to face and discuss with him, including the vice president. And in fact, we want to write the legislature, all right, so that we can go there and explain in detail what the vision is about. And we will want them to pass it into law. Because tomorrow when we are living, we do not want people to just be branding the sector negatively. Everyone is lawless. So at a result, even if you have good people there and you live in a sector, people just consider you to be a lawless person. It's wrong.
Mr.
So-
Kenya, let's look at some of the decisions that have been taken by the new administration. We're looking at, okay, for an example, there are a lot of appointments. People were appointed into different areas. We're just looking at your perspective. We're looking at, there was this strife in King Joy was managed. There were protests by army wives and how that was managed. There's now a new budget where monies are going to some of the key areas and some areas are being cut down, including the office of the president. Let's look at the place you're sitting and thinking. What are your reflections?
Well, the government is on the right path. And I want to say to Ambassador Jose Nyimambuaka, it is by no mistake that we elected you as president and Jeremiah Kpanku as a vice president. The decision taking is welcoming. And so to reduce your budget from 4.2 or 4.4 million to 2.2, 50% reduction is welcoming.
It happened
And
even to the vice president.
The vice president from 4 million to 2 million is welcoming. All right,
Even
even the
the
legislature
I was about to just say that.
from 67 million to 38 is welcoming.
But then
Let me tell you,
more money to education.
education, agriculture,
Okay.
and as far as what was the agency again? Oh, there are other agencies that they try to privatize, and that which I welcome a lot. And as an institution, we want to appreciate Ambassador Jose Nyimambuaka. One thing that you've done that we would like to appreciate you for is to commit yourself to bringing a war and economic crime code.
You support that as well?
As an institution, we do welcome and support the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Code in Liberia.
Why are you committing your institution?
The
Did you
reason
consult with
is-
your membership?
The reason is we've discussed, and we are not people who do not believe in the law. So if you consider motorcyclists to be lawless, we are not. So we are not telling you that. We support the establishment of War and Economic Crime Code.
Wait.
There were people-
Can motorcyclists go to court? Have you ever heard motorcyclists?
If you committed atrocities in
No,
this
no,
country,
I'm not talking about. Offenses that they may have committed, but to hear that a motorcyclist or a tricyclist is angry over something and he decides to go to police or go to court, they say usually you just take the action when you just take the decision.
you see that's
Yeah.
hasty generalization. That's not. It is. Please help us as a journalist
Okay.
to propagate the message that cyclists are good people
They are law abiding also.
and they are law abiding.
Okay.
So I am begging LBS
Mhm.
to help us in this process of rebranding the sector, of how people look at it,
Mhm.
to looking at the sector as agents of positive change.
No, I can say this confidently, Mr. Kenya. The Director General has said that under his watch, ELBC is a public broadcaster and everybody will have equal access to the state radio, except that you are held responsible for what you say.
Definitely, I do support that.
So,
But we are saying as a cyclist sector,
Mhm.
if there can be a promo from this entity that we respect and trust highly, Nigeria is small station here, right? Because a national station here.
But they are very important too.
A national station here. If you say anything here will affect us.
They are very important.
Negatively or positively. So this station is widely listened to across the country.
Are you looking to
so we are saying to you,
Director General to build a relationship?
In fact, very soon you will see your letter. We will be playing your football match.
Oh wow!
You'll receive a letter.
You want to play final?
As a way of building the relationship, cementing the relationship.
You are looking for trouble. We have one of the strongest teams in country.
Yeah, come and prove it there. They see what we did with the police. They had to cheat. Yeah, so if 1 or 2 on the data listening this morning, we play 90-minute football. Can you imagine?
Well, I'm going to turn it over to Melvin to take probably a few calls. It's been a very healthy conversation. You don't go to fight and tell the man that the man will tell him I will beat you. So, but he's also saying he did it somewhere before. But he said also they were not going to be about the cheater.
No, but can you imagine? We play 90-minute football, 3-3. All right. The other 15 minutes, I went to the ref as a ref.
You were exhausted now.
Yeah, 15 minutes. After that 15 and 90 minutes, we go 105 minutes.
That's stoppage is good.
Then he added additional 15 minutes. So we went 120 minutes. But luckily for them, we know they scored 1 goal. We gave them 1 goal. And so we want to say bravo and congratulations to the LMP. They won 4 goals to 3. And so we want to say congratulations to them. But we were not allowed that to happen with LBS anyway.
Okay. Yeah. We will see. Well, okay. We can take few calls this morning. Our guest is Mr. John A.F. Keon. He's the president of the Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Unions of Liberia. He's our guest on the Super Morning Show this morning. Of course, you can just put in your call quickly on 0880-514-096. 0880-514-096, 077-597-8530, 077-597-8530. You can call and just put your concern through this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
We are okay. What's your name?
I'm Morris Kuma calling from Capital Baba.
Quickly.
The comment I instill in the well. And I understand why he said straight to the point. But my recommendation to the motorcycle is saying point on 2 things concerning motorcycle ride with slipper. I'm against that. I don't ride by with footwear like single shoe and sandal. I don't ride with you. Then secondly, the security guy, they don't monitor each other. Just erect a buy or no reason, no journal reason. And he talked about university today, right by. It's true. I have one of my course mates, he right by, I read to school. And bad motorcycle, they are helping the economy. When you say a motorcycle stop today on the street of Monrovia, there will be a serious traffic outbreak.
Okay.
But the journey was still material to play with the Liberia National Police and make a motorcycle to be unique people.
Thank you. Morning. Good morning. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Please go ahead quickly. We don't have time.
This is Daniel PB. I'm calling from Tupo Road.
Quickly.
And also a student. So I also like to thank the president for speaking the way he did. This issue of analyzing the whole sector because of few other persons is very bad. And I mean, I'm going to check all other sectors, even including the broadcast sectors. There are people there who disobey laws. But to come out and say everybody within the sector are bad is wrong. So you, the journalists, you have to help us and let people know that not everyone within our sectors are bad. The issue of students, people going to school and riding motorbike, a microphone and go even to the campus and other campuses that you know that there are a lot of people going to school and still riding bike. But the other thing I like to follow the president there is the issue of this sticker that is being sold by the union. If we have to buy a place for our bike, do we really have to still buy sticker?
Okay.
That's what I want to know.
Thank you. Let me take the last person. We don't have time. The president will speak to that quickly before we go. Morning. Good morning.
Thank you, Chief. And let me say good morning to the President General in the video. My name is William Covey, and I joined this conversation from District 3. Let me appreciate John A.F. Keon, the President General of the Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Union of Liberia, for his late deliberation. Look, and I think we need to get something clear here, right? That people saying that motorcyclists are lawless people, that is not true. And even the president said it, that when you was to take a microphone from the rural parking lot, motorcycle, if you was to ask them, they would tell you the benefits of motorbike that so far. We were in high school, we started riding back, we graduated from high school, motorcycles took us today at the University of Liberia, we have our own home, and we are attending vocational institutions also. So,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you. We don't have time. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me take this person quickly. Just 10 seconds. Morning. Please go ahead. We don't have time.
Yeah, this is Steven. We are, and I'm the acting president of the National Federation of Motorcycle Staff Association of Nigeria. Let me commend our Trump on the studio on the insurance plan. So we are the sector, we are towards the culture and making sure that this sector began work on this today. And I want to appreciate you for the action and appreciate for all of the those qualified riders to draw the national government.
Thank you.
Very soon, the country is going to be in the mode that at least we have one or two institutions of our
Thank you. Okay, Mr. President, we don't have time. Just address the concern from the caller before this person.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you to all of the callers. I just want President ask as related to the stickers. So like I said, right now we officially this week, by the grace of God, we've completed the MOU. Everyone will be signing onto that document. And so next year, we will see only one sticker, one ticket, one article for the entire sector moving forward. And so right now we have other unions that have had their stickers outside. We cannot just tell them to take it off the street right away. When you are negotiating with people, there's a lot of issues you need to take into consideration. And the sticker is for the union. All right? How do you expect your office to run? How do you expect the union to operate where you do not pay due to the union? So you rather I want you to understand that you have to pay due apart from the plate you buy. Although there are other recommendations that we are putting to see as if we can have all of the money included, that when you get your plate, you just get everything so that, you cannot be getting the one, after the other. So we are working on a lot of issues.
Thank you.
But like I said, we want ELBC. If there can be your promo to propagate the message of promoting a good image of our sector, we will highly appreciate it. All right? Because sometimes it is actually troubling when you go some places, have a lot of good people, but yet people just say cycling sector is reckless people, have reckless people and all of that.
Thank you, Mr.
So
President.
it's troubling, and we do not want that to be happening. And so we want to appeal to you as a state radio to help us. While other smaller stations will be carrying on because of other disagreement, we do not care, right?
Thank you.
But this is a state radio. We want you to help us. We're begging you.
Thank you.
So await our letter very soon. Honorable Falcon, if you are listening, we will be sending you letters so that we can play your people. We can play and have a cemented relationship with the state radio. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's the president of the Federation of Motorcycles and Tricycle Unions of Liberia, Honorable John A.F. Keon. He has been our guest on the Super Morning Show. Thanks to Anthony Vowen, who has been aiding me ably here. Damawa Fufana has been on the social media. Until tomorrow morning, when the Super Morning Show comes on behalf of the team, my name is Melvin Stewart, bidding you a pleasant good day from Painesville. Bye-bye.